So the MySQL database is based on the enterprise edition. This is the commercial edition, which is fully supported by us. This is different from the free version that you download, that basically has all the enterprise features. And it also comes with a HeatWave engine, which is a in-memory database for very fast query acceleration. And machine learning, Gen AI, is the best price performance database in the market. Okay, so I've gone through this. We have all these different shapes of database and the HeatWave clusters. I'll only explain the 512 configuration. We also have a smaller size for the node, but for data warehouse, for analytics, people will want to use the larger shape. Okay. So database is created in the private subnet. So you can see that it's in the private subnet. Yeah. And for HA, we have clusters created with 3 databases. And this is automatically configured for you. And you need to have a IPsec channel, or you can either use the cloud bashing service, or you can have a VM, just like me. I have a VM that connect to the database. Okay, so my application, my laptop is all going through the tunnel. So database is fully encrypted for data at rest and also in transit. So just now I show you to ensure that you have a secure tunnel to the database. So the database is configured fully in secure mode, and which allows you to transfer data. It's all encrypted in the using the TLS encryption. Okay, the other thing which is only part of the MySQL HeatWave is the data masking. So you can mask your data. There's all this function allows you to mask your data, sensitive data from the application. Okay, so these are the all the enterprise features that we support. We have the enterprise threat proof, which protect your data database from increasing number of connections. We have the data masking. We also have the auditing to audit the database activities. So threat pool is a very unique features in MySQL HeatWave, which allows you to protect database from increasing number of connections. Okay, so if and without a threat pool, you know, the database will provision a. So basically, there will be a one server worker thread for user connection. But let's say you have an application running, right? So and then so let's say in here I have 100. Without the thread pool, there will be 100 server that serve the user, right? And when this go up to 5,000, you know, you would have lots of server, 5,000 server thread to serve the this 4,000 user, and all this require memory and CPU. So if the database is not sized up to take up you know, this 5,000 user, your database is going to run very slow. So what we do is that we have the thread pool, which we have a shared connection server server thread to manage this 5,000 connection, so that they are queued up, and we will multiplex the connection to the database. So in this way, database resources is protected, and then at the same time keep the user application running. Okay, so we also did a benchmark on this. Is that comparing with thread pool and without thread pool. So here is so we did this a bit earlier on the version 8. So the red color is without thread pool. Yeah, you can see this red color without thread pool. And this is the blue color with the thread pool. You can see at the 512 user, you can see this is the breaking point. As we increase the number of users, you can see the number of transactions drop, because the database is very busy, you know, creating new resources to serve the new user. So this is where the, you know, database resources exhausted, okay, crashed. Whereas a thread pool, we have a fixed number of connection, server threads, so we can keep the same transaction rate and serving the increasing number of users. Redis is by default enabled in a database. Very good for web application, online store, because you don't know, how many users that's going to use the database or use your application. Okay, so lastly, but not least, is that just go through the high availability. So again, the trade database server, and then these are all SLA based. So in the multiple AD, we provide 99.99% uptime, and for single AD, availability domain is 99.95, and standalone is 99.9. Okay. So creating a database is very simple, right? So standalone or HA, there's a read-write endpoint, so application will connect to it, and that gives you the 99.99% uptime. And internally, this is all done with the built-in replication framework, so you don't have to worry about setting this up. It's all configured for you. And if any one time, the database server is not available, no worries, because it will fill over to the one of the remaining two servers, right? Well, this is being fixed by our support. Read replica is the managed one. I'll show you the screen, the provision. It's very simple. Just select the version, the shape, and you can have up to 18 read replicas to serve your user. Okay, the self-managed, I've shown you the channel that you can build. So this is mainly for replicating from non-Oracle Cloud MySQL database, your own data centers, RDS, Azure. You could, build a channel to all these different database and replicate into the MySQL HeatWave. Okay, so this is the replication that I set up for the two databases. So once you have this set up, basically you can set up two-way, both way, right? So you can have data replicated to the other database and the other way around as well. So I have this set up. So once I've inserted this, you can see the data is synchronized. And then when I insert something in this database, immediately you can see that the data is available on this site. Okay, so this is possible if you use the self-managed channel. Okay, so you can see that the new record, the record number 3 is inserted. And if you insert something in here, they'll get replicated to this the other database as well. Okay, so you can see that 4 records, and then in here you can see the same records on both sides. Yeah, so that's pretty much the MySQL replication. So I think I'll talk about this using the MySQL shell, using the dump instance or dump schema. There are many different functions. Basically, you can dump everything, or you can dump just one database. And once it's in the bucket, you can then load the data into the MySQL database. Okay, so I've shown you this, right? It's all the workbench going through the bastion, the secure channel into database. And some of this command I've highlighted to you, the dry run, the compatibility. I didn't mention this, but this is basically specifying there will be 5 workers to export data. So imagine you have one big database, you can specify like 16 channels to export the data, to speed up the data export process. Okay, so you could connect via the tunnel, or you could have a load balancer to connect to the database. So this is not, but this is possible in a very simple way for you to enable database to be accessible through the internet. But use it with caution, because so you need to make sure that the security orders are in place to do this. So talk to you about the HeatWave clusters. Okay, so this is the HeatWave clusters you can attach to the MySQL database. Okay, so this allows you to do very high speed processing, machine learning, and Gen AI. So basically, you can ingest data into the HeatWave clusters from the object storage using this Lakehouse features. So all the transactions, your insert, update, delete, will get committed into the InnoDB engine, right? So this is the transaction engine. And if you have a data specified to be loaded in a HeatWave, all your queries will get executed in the HeatWave clusters, leveraging all the different nodes and also the in-memory data. So this is really, really fast, and you don't have to do any changes to your application to leverage the HeatWave clusters. Okay, so let me just show you how this works in action. Okay, so I have this airline database loaded in the HeatWave cluster. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, let me just make it bigger. This is the not to use HeatWave, right? And then run this query. So this is kind of complex query because it need to group by the airlines. Basically, I'm looking for the average rate age of the passenger from these three countries. Okay, so let's run this. So I run this before. So the first time is about 30 seconds, and I think the second time is about 10 seconds. Okay, so I think I have a millions of rows in this database. So let's say, so this is running in the InnoDB engine. So if I run it in the secondary engine, means run it in the HeatWave clusters. So you can see I get the same result, but you can see the result is 0.276 seconds. But this is the same query. So there's no changes to it. The only change is just run it in the HeatWave clusters. Okay. So without any changes, by using the HeatWave, you can speed up the query really, really fast. So let me show you what I mean by so how do you look at the database in the HeatWave, or what table loaded in the HeatWave clusters in Grafana? So these are the table get loaded, right? So I'm just looking at the airport, right? Airport is loaded, airlines are loaded. So once all these tables loaded in the HeatWave clusters, all these queries, will get automatically executed in the HeatWave clusters. So this is just to show you, the difference. But if you have the table loaded, you don't have to do this, right? By default, whenever you see data in the HeatWave clusters, you just push to execute in the HeatWave clusters. Okay, so no change to application, but it runs like at least 10 times, 50 times faster. The Lakehouse features. I'll show you the Lakehouse features. So essentially, this is a very handy features. If you have a lot of data in the object storage, for example, CSV, Parquet, or Avro, you could load all this into the HeatWave clusters and then start, doing your analytics or processing or whatever. Okay, so I have one. Okay, let's go back to the bucket. I have a. So I have basically all this point of sales data that for retail store. Okay, so so this is in JSON format. I could load it into the HeatWave and then start processing. Right. So this is the a way of using the Lakehouse to import data from object storage, and this data can be coming from various sources, right? Your supplier, your user, your customers, or wherever, right? So they can just over the internet upload this into the bucket, and then from there you can import into your database for processing. So one of the way to do that is using the HeatWave. Okay, so let me just go back to the HeatWave the shell. So it's just basically a very simple command. Okay, so I have a database called post point of sales. So there's no table. So essentially what I would do is I would use the Lakehouse features. And I'll just say, okay, so go to this donut folder in this object storage and look for anything with post whatever JSON. Okay, so the database name is post and table name also post. Okay, so go ahead and create that. And once you've done that, then I will have another function. We start looking at loading the data if there's any object, if there is any file in the object storage. So it's called the HeatWave load. Yeah, and then you start loading it. So it tells you that hey, there's one table is loadable, and around 4 meg of memory is needed. So it get so this is all loaded. So I'll just say to check how many records is loaded. Oops. So just 10 records. Okay, so let's just say select. So this is JSON, so it's all in JSON format. But you can there's function to extract data, but just want to show you the data is loaded. So so from time so over time, and when you have more data in here, you can load it, refresh the table with new data. So one of the way to do it is let's just say so rename all this thing to post, so that I can refresh the table with new data, right? So I just have a new one called post2.json. So in here, I will just, okay, let's refresh the table with new data if there's a new file. So just set the option to refresh, and then I would reload the table. So I go to the object storage to look for any new files, and then when you found one, you will start loading it into the table. So you can see that this is very useful because data keep coming into the object storage. You can refresh the table, and then you can build a dashboard to look at the latest data. So of course, all this can be automated. I just want to show you that at the back how this is done, right? So you can say count. So this is 20. There's additional 10 records. And it will give you all the 20 records, right? So 20 rows. So this is how you can use the HeatWave Lakehouse to ingest data from object storage.